Good morning students. We will be continuing with our next lecture on electric field due to various charge distributions. On that day we have done the electric field due to the distribution of charges on a straight conductor or a linear charge distribution. Today we will do another distribution means when the charge is distributed on a large area. That means it's an areal distribution we are going to discuss. So we will find the electric field due to this areal distribution. For this we will suppose like you are having this much area. It's quite a large area. Suppose you are having this much of area and it is having a charge. So this area is having a charge. That means if a point is located here, suppose M, you want that is at r distance from this charge distribution. You want to find the electric strength at this point M due to this whole charge distribution. What you will do? You are not having any kind of formula. First of all, you will consider a area of 1 meter square, means unit area, and on unit area you will suppose sigma charge is present. So what is this sigma? It's a density of charge per unit area. This is charge density per unit area. That means in unit area sigma charge is present. If total area is A, suppose this area means if total area of this surface is A and total charge held by this surface is Q, divide total charge by total area, you will get the charge in one area, 1 meter square of area. That means you are going to get charge in 1 meter square of area. And what is the charge in 1 meter square of area? We have supposed it as sigma. So total charge, when it will be divided by total area, we will get the charge in unit area. So Q is equals to sigma into A. So this is the concept. That means for 1 meter square area you are getting sigma charge. For 2 meter square area you are getting 2 sigma charge. For 3 meter square area you are getting 3 sigma charge, like this. Suppose you will consider a small area, small surface. This is a big surface. Now you will consider only a small surface. Suppose you have considered this small surface ds. What is the charge held by this ds? 1 is holding sigma, 2 is holding 2 sigma, 3 is holding 3 sigma, and what is the charge held by ds? Sigma into ds, small surface. So this is charge. Suppose the charge held by this small surface is dq, suppose, and this is the charge held by ds surface. This will be equal to dq, and you know the electric field due to this surface at point M. What is the formula of electric field? Means this small surface is acting as a point charge, na? So we are having a formula of point charge. Electric field due to point charge is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught charge upon distance square. That means if you take a charge, this small charge dq, if you take a small charge dq, at what this means dq is held by this surface, small surface, and what is the distance? R square. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Are you going to get dE? No, you are not going to get E. You are going to get small electric field due to this small dq charge, dE. So this is the electric field due to a point charge dq at distance r square. So if you want to find the complete electric field at point M, means here also, due to this charge also, due to this charge also, so r is varying, r is not constant, and this is dq1. You are having so many surfaces like this, ds1, second surface ds2, third surface ds3, and its charge is dq2, dq3, like this. So this is also not constant. So if you integrate dE for the whole surface, you will get the complete electric field, net electric field. So you will integrate. Integration 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is constant. It will come outside in the integration only dq upon r square means. You know what is the value of dq because we have calculated the value of dq is equal to sigma into ds. The value of dq is equal to sigma into ds. Just put here the value of dq. So E is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught sigma. Put the value of dq, sigma into ds upon r square. Sigma is also constant because it is a charge in 1 meter square area, it is constant. So it will come outside 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught sigma integration of ds upon r square. So this is the net electric field due to the areal charge distribution. So this is a concept. So stepwise you are getting this, means on 1 meter square area you are having charge sigma. If you divide the total charge of the surface by the total area, you will get the charge on 1 meter square surface, that is sigma, and Q is equal to sigma into A. Then suppose you take a small area ds, again I am repeating, and what is the charge held by ds? Sigma into ds. Charge held by 1 is sigma, 2 is 2 into sigma, by 2 surfaces 2 into sigma, by 3 surface 3 into, and by ds surface is ds into sigma. ds into sigma. Suppose this small surface ds is having a charge dq. So charge held by this ds surface is sigma into ds, that is equal to dq. Means we have put the value of charge hold is equal to dq. That means dq is the small charge that is held by ds surface, and ds is a part of this, and ds is a part of this. ds is holding dq, and there are so many ds we will calculate when we will be calculating net electric field. So we will be next, you will put the formula for if dq amount of charge is there, what will be the value of electric field dE. We have now put the value of dq, sigma into ds upon r square. Sigma is also constant, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is also constant. It will come outside ds upon r square. So integrate this, you will get the total electric field due to this charge distribution like this. This area is having a lot of charge now, you will get the total electric field due to this area. So this is the formula. So this is the distribution of a charge. So you have concept is very much clear. You will be getting a charge like it is take it as an example of cloud, take it as an example of wall. You will be able, your target is to calculate the electric field due to this whole area at distance r, but you are having formula of only a point charge, so you will consider a small area that is equal to point charge only. And this small area, what is the charge? Sigma into ds. Sigma is the charge for 1 meter square area, for ds area into sigma into ds, and that charge we are denoting by dq. And we are having a formula of point charge. What is the formula of electric field for a point charge? 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught charge upon r square. What is the small point charge? We have considered dq. So for dq, what is the value of electric field? That is dE, small dE. And we have to integrate for so many dqs, because we are not having one dq, we are having so many dqs. As I have told you, we are not having one dq, we are having so many dqs, dq1, dq2, dq3. What is the dq? dq is the charge held by ds surface, ds1 surface. dq2 is the charge held by ds2 surface. dq3 is the charge that is held by ds3 surface. And there are these small surfaces, they are making this big surface. So we are doing the electric field due to the areal charge distribution. So make it clear. Now if the means suppose you are having, now we will means assume the charge is distributed over some volume. Then how can you find the total electric field? Suppose you take a sphere of this charge. That means it is having some volume. Na? You want to calculate the electric field at distance r from the sphere, but you are having a formula of a point charge only, because the electric field at a point you have derived only for a point charge, and you have derived by using Coulomb's formula, and Coulomb's formula always applies to a point charge. That means the electric field formula we are having, it is only for a point charge, but here we are having a this much amount of volume, so we are not having any formula. So what we will do, we will take a small volume, we will take a 1 unit volume. Suppose we are having only one volume. In one volume the charge present is this. Suppose rho charge is present, suppose, and in 2 volume 2 rho charge is present, and in 3 volume 3 rho is present. So this is the charge per unit volume, rho. It's known as volumetric charge density. So if this sphere is having total Q charge, and if this sphere is having total V volume, if you divide the total charge by total volume, you will get the charge in one volume. That means if you divide the total charge held by a sphere by the total volume of sphere, you will get the charge held by 1 centimeter cube of volume. And what is this charge held by 1 centimeter? What we are donating it? We are donating it by rho. That means rho is equals to Q upon V. And what is the value of Q? The value of Q is equal to rho into V. But you will consider a very small volume. You will consider a very small volume, dV. And what is the charge of dV? Rho into dV. And what you can't means the charge due to small dV is dQ. And what is the electric field intensity formula for a point charge? 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, same charge upon distance square. What is the distance r? What charge we will take? We will take only a small charge. And what is the due to small charge, what is the value of electric field? Small electric field. And we will integrate this to find the complete electric field, because the sphere is having so many small dVs, small volume. Suppose this is dV, small volume dV1, small volume dV2, small volume dV3. Suppose dV1 is having dQ1 charge, dV2 volume is having dQ2 charge, and dV3 volume is having dQ3 charge. So this sphere is made of so many small volumes. dV1, suppose this is dV1. What is the charge held by dV volume? Rho into dV. We are donating it by dQ1. So we will integrate this. That means suppose the electric field due to dV1 is dE1, and electric field due to dV2 is dE2, and electric field due to dV3 is dE3. So we will add all the electric fields, and to add all the electric fields, what we are taking? We are taking the integration. So we will take the integration. E is equals to summation dE is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught summation. What is the value of dQ? The value of dQ is P into dV. And what is the value of R square? Rho is constant. It's a charge of 1 meter square volume. 1 meter square volume charge is rho constant. So it will be outside. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Rho is outside. What will remain? dV upon R square is equals to E. So this is the electric field intensity due to a volumetric charge distribution. So first of all, in every step you will find the means if area is there, you will get the area in 1 meter square. What you will find, the first your target is to find the charge in 1 meter square area if area is there, and if means volume is there, you have to find the charge in 1 meter cube of volume, and if length is there, you have to find the charge in 1 meter per unit length. So that we have denoted that length by, here we have denoted by sigma, the charge in 1 meter square area, and rho and here we have denoted by lambda. So all we are using this. So total charge divided by total volume, we will get the charge in 1 unit volume, that is rho. So you know that if you have a small charge dq, and if you have small volume dv, are you getting my point na? For one of the volume, if you are having one volume, you are having charge rho. Now we have considered two volume. What is the charge? 2 into rho. Now we have considered very small volume dv. What is the charge? dv into rho. This is the charge, and we are denoting this small charge by dq. So that's why we are putting the value of this is dq. And what is the value we are putting? dq we are putting dv into p. So this is a concept. So this is what is the value of p. You know that dq, small dq, is equals to rho into dv. Integration of dE 1.4 pi epsilon naught constant. So you will be having integration 1.4 pi. What is the value of dq? This is the small electric field due to small charge. And what is the value of small charge? Rho into dv. In case of volumetric charge distribution, rho is constant, it will come outside, dv upon r square will remain there only. So this is all for the charge distribution, different charge distributions that we are discussing. And next topic is electric field lines. What are these electric field lines? Suppose you are having a charge here. Suppose this is a charge, and this is the electric field. So these are the imaginary lines. Imaginary, they are not seen by eyes. They are the imaginary lines. They are the curved lines, and they are also smooth. Means where they are present? They are present in electric field, and they are present in space. Why they are present in space? And they represent the electric field. So this is the definition of electric field lines. They are the imaginary, smooth, curved lines. They are drawn in space to represent the electric field in space. So what are the, now we will discuss the characteristics of electric field lines or features of electric field lines. So you are seeing here a positive charge, means from positive charge they are moving outward. And if there is a negative charge, they will end up at a negative charge like this. That means they will terminate at a negative charge like this. So note down the first characteristic of electric field lines. Electric field lines start from the positive charge and terminate at the negative charge. They are the discontinuous curves. What do we mean by discontinuous curves? That means before starting from the positive charge, they were not present, and after ending at the negative charge, they were not present. So they are the discontinuous curves. So first characteristic is start from positive charge, end at negative charge, discontinuous curves. This is a concept. So second characteristic is the electric field lines, they are smooth curves. Means they are the curves but they are smooth. Like they are the curves, curved lines, they are smooth. This is not a smooth case, this is a smooth case. So second characteristic is curved smooth lines. And if we take any point on the electric field line and draw tangent on that point, the tangent at any point on the electric field line will give the direction of electric field at that point. That means if we take the tangent at any point कहाँ पे है? The tangent at any point on the electric field line will provide us the information about the electric field at that point. So this is the concept. Electric field lines, they will give the direction of electric field at that point. So third point is very much clear. Two electric field lines, they can't cross each other, because if they cross each other at the intersection point, the direction means at single point the two direction of forces of electric field will be there, which is not possible. Means at single point two electric field directions will be there, but that is not possible. If they cross at, if two electric field cross, that means at A we will get two directions, one is along this and one is along this. So at single point there are two directions of electric field, which is not possible, so they can't intersect each other. So this is the third characteristics of electric field lines. Fourth characteristic is, if electric field lines, they are crowded at one place, that means the strength of electric field is more. That means if electric field lines are crowded in any space, that means in that space the strength of electric field is more, and if they are not crowded, the strength is less. So the crowding of electric field lines, it will provide us the information about the strength of electric field. So you are having some points at A, more crowding is there as compared to B, so A will have more electric field strength as compared to B. Fifth characteristic is when electric field means when electric field lines, they start from a charged body or they terminate at a charged body, they make an angle of 90 degree. That means when they leave the charged body, they make an angle of 90 degree with its surface, and when they terminate at the charged surface, they make an angle of 90 degree, like this. Suppose plus Q, this is a charged body, this is also a charged body. So when they leave like this, then they become like this. They start from positive and they terminate at negative, so this will be the direction. So this angle will be 90 degrees. Suppose this is a charged body, means some charges will be present here also, at A position also. You know that in charged body the charges are present on the outer boundary of a body, but they are not moving. Means charges will be present here, but they are not moving. Suppose the electric field lines, they are leaving the surface at angle theta, not at 90 degree, but suppose they are leaving at theta. That means electric field will apply the force on the charges present here. That means, but we know that in reality the charges are not moving. That means they will apply the force. Means make a component of electric field. Suppose electric field is so electric field is leaving at theta, so it will have two components. In this direction it will have E cos theta, and in this direction it will have E sin theta. So this E cos theta will apply the force on this charge that is present here. But we know that in reality the charge that is present at A does not move. So what is the force? Force is Q into E. Which component of E is acting? QE cos theta is equals to F. So this is a force, but the egg charges in reality which are present, they are not moving. That means if they are not moving, force will be 0, and force can only be 0 if theta is 0. Q is not 0, E is not 0, so cos theta has to be 0 in order to make it as 0. So theta has to be 90 degree if we want to make it 0. So this proves that the electric field lines, they must leave the surface at 90 degree. So electric field lines, they, when they start from the surface, when they terminate at the surface, they make an angle of 90 degree. And I have told you the condition also why they can't make angle theta. So in reality all the charges, they are at stable positions, they are not experiencing any force. Means the body will have charges here also, here also, here also. They have stabilized because net force on each charge is 0, so it is not moving. Suppose you are having a unit charge. This unit charge will have a large number of electric field lines. Yes, it will have the large number of electric field lines. So the number of electric field lines that is linked, that is attached with a unit charge, they are given by this number 1 upon epsilon naught, 1.8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. This is given by Gauss. So you have to remember this. We will study in the incoming lectures. The number of lines, the sixth characteristics of electric field lines we are doing, the number of lines that are linked with a unit charge is 1 upon epsilon naught, like this. Suppose you are having a rubber band. This is first end of rubber band, second end of rubber band. Stretch it. Its length will increase. So this corner will apply force on this end in this direction because it wants to return to its normal position. So this corner will apply force on this end also because it also wants to return to its normal position, like this. So what is this? Physics says it is a stretched spring. The electric field lines, they are starting from here, they are moving here. They also behave like stretched springs. That means one force acts in this direction, means this will pull this thing in this direction, and this will pull this thing in this direction. So this stretched spring, so this electric field lines, they are behaving like stretched spring. That means this will pull this charge in this direction, and this will pull this charge in this direction. So this will explain the force of attraction between positive and negative charge. Now you know why positive and negative charges are attracted to each other. Because these electric field lines, they are behaving as stretched springs. They are pulling this positive charge in this direction, and they are pulling this negative charge in this direction. So this is the concept. Electric field lines, they behave like stretched strings, and they try to decrease their length. In this way, the force of attraction between a positive and negative charge is explained. So this is the seventh characteristic of electric field lines. So this is all for today. So now note down the homework. So first question is derive the electric field intensity due to areal charge distribution. Second question is derive the electric field intensity due to volumetric charge distribution. Third question is write the characteristics of electric field lines. So this is all for today. Hope you enjoyed today's lecture. Thank you very much.